Everyone, being I'm back on board, I'm going to do the reading for the lovely Libra people today. I know that I have a huge following of Libra people. I have a Libra moon and so does my partner, so that's really cool. So we'll get into a Libra reading. So we're going to use the gold and black tarot for this reading, or black and gold. I'm not really sure which way around it goes. And before I go any further, being it's Libra, it can be for Libra moon, Libra sun. So Libra sun is what you identify as. If somebody says to you, what sign are you? And you say Libra, that is your sun sign. But it can be Libra moon, Libra Mars, Libra Venus, whatever you need it to be. So if you're unsure of what you've got in your chart, you can Google natal chart and put in the details of your birth and you will understand where all the planets were when you were born. Good idea to do that because you can monitor different areas in your life. Like if you want to work to find out where how you're going in your workplace, see Libra in if you've got Libra in Saturn, for example, that would be helpful there. But definitely worthwhile looking into. And if you get a natal chart done, they very often give you a little bit of an overview of what those signs mean when they fall on your planets. Okay. Let's get into your reading, Libra. Okay, Virgo. Now, I have to say to you, Virgo has been very, very strong coming through today. Virgo came up very strongly in my What's Cracking, like my daily read. And I did post it on this channel because it came up so strongly. It also came up in the Virgo reading, which of course it should do, but very strong in the Virgo reading. So you could be a Virgo dealing with a Virgo, for example. When the Hermit card comes around, it talks about taking time out from something. Sometimes it can be we're taking time out because we need to make decisions. It could be we're taking time out because we're deeply thoughtful on something. Sometimes we just take time out because we're introverts and need time to ourselves. But whatever this is for you, the Hermit is saying to me, there is something that you need to look at more closely. You need to take time out either to do some healing, to think about how to move forward, or to make a plan on how to move forward. Whatever it is for you, that's what's coming through. And then we have the Star card. Now, again, you've got major arcanas, a lot of these coming through today as well. The Star card for me talks about your destiny. It can be seen as a wish card because very often it sort of shows what's on your pathway for you. Now, I believe that everything is pre-written. Not everybody does. Some people think that your destiny is something you create along the way. My thinking is it's already there and you thinking that you're creating it because in your soul you've already made that decision. So it's already planned. So when the Star comes around, for me, it makes me feel that you've got something coming in for you that is a great, I want to say that it's either something you've wanted or you've dreamed of or that you feel you're manifesting. And I feel like it's going to be quite sudden or quite impacting. So I'm feeling here that maybe the universe is saying to you, Libra, that you need to take time out at this time because something big is coming your way. Could be a Virgo, could be an Aquarius, but something big is coming. So you need to take time out. There's a brand new beginning. So when the Ace of Wands comes around, it's about passion, it's about drive. So you could be planning a new beginning in your career, could be that you're looking for a brand new job and something's about to drop into your lap. But something big is coming towards you here. And although you may not be seeing at this point in time, I feel like this particular role is something you're going to love. So whether it's a role in romance or a role in work, it's like it's really coming through in a very beautiful way here. Now, I do have the Five of Swords coming through with the Five of Pentacles behind that and the High Priestess. So there is some feeling of reluctance in regards to this. Maybe if it's a job for you, that you've applied for a lot of jobs and you're unsure whether something is coming your way. It could be that you want to reconcile in a relationship. You're unsure if that can happen for you. It could be that you're looking for new love, but you have doubts on whether you can find it. This sort of energy here, it's the energy of walking away from something. even if you don't want to walk away. So it may have been that you left a job because you were unhappy. You may not have wanted to leave your job. You may have liked the money, you may have liked the people, but you felt you had no alternative. Sometimes this is also about winning at all costs. So it's about considering your own well-being in this situation. Whatever it is with this five of pentacles, no, they're round things. These are things that hold liquid. With the Five of Cups coming through here, there's a feeling here that maybe something was very hard to let go. I feel like you've accomplished that and you're ready for the next stage of your life. But what I do feel more than that is that what you did for your own benefit. So you've had huge growth from this, all right? And I feel like it was a really good thing. But the moment you're focused on the disappointment, so whatever this is coming through here, you have a brand new beginning. And I feel that even if you're focused a little bit on what went wrong or what could have gone better or whatever it is, I feel that you need to trust that it's making way for something new. Now, if you go on my belief of everything is already pre-planned, that you write your life before you get here, if you go with that view, then I feel like you already know something good's coming. It's like you already know by letting go of something that something new will take its place. All right, let's see where we're going with this reading. Okay, so this is the sort of energy that's coming through with the Five of Cups. To me, this is like a victim mentality. We can see somebody all wrapped up and all caught up in all these swords, but she could free herself at any time. The bindings are very loose, the blindfold could be taken off, and she can easily step away from the swords. But you see, when we're in the energy that our mind takes us through, we can get into that sort of energy of feeling like we're in a prison, you know, feeling like somehow or another we can't escape from our thoughts and our feelings. This here is about being trapped or feeling trapped within that energy. So when you get into that energy, if you're not freeing yourself, you can develop this sort of victim-y attitude. So we can be doing the whole, I'll never find this, I'll never go anywhere, this is how my life is, where is my joy, where is my happiness? And we get stuck in that sort of thinking. And the only way to shed that thinking is by challenging the way you see things, and then your vibration rises or raises. So I feel like something's coming in for you here, something that's right for you. But I feel like you've got yourself into this energy of being stuck in the swords. There you go. So something's going to, that's what I said in the beginning. So something's going to shock you out of your little sort of prison. And this can happen to any one of us. It sometimes is that epiphany moment, you know, where you go, oh, now I get it. Like, you know, you can be cycling something, right? I know that sometimes when you're cycling an energy, you don't see it until it sort of slaps you in the face. So I always use a repeat relationship because that's a really good one for people. You know, if you've got a relationship with somebody and it doesn't turn out well, but you still stay in that energy, chances are pretty good you're going to get another relationship the same coming in behind it. Why is that? Number one, because the universe feels you haven't learned your lesson and you need to learn the lesson because it's about you. It's not about the other person. It's about you healing. So sometimes it can come in an epiphany moment, that realization that you're repeating something. Sometimes somebody else can say something to you which might sort of knock you out of that reverie. So, you know, somebody can say, hey, you're being a bit negative about this. And all of a sudden you think, well, yeah, I am, because I keep thinking the worst is going to happen. So it can come to you that way. And the other way it can come to you too is that the universe goes, we've poked you with a stick so many times and you are not listening. So now we're going to take action. So we get either relationships that get gradually worse. You know, somebody said to me once, you know, I remember dating this narcissist and, you know, I finally got rid of him and I moved back out and then I attracted another one. But this time he was so much worse than the one before. And then I finally felt at healing. I went through counselling and next thing I know, I'm in another relationship, only this time it was much worse and it was so hard for me to escape. Why is that? Because you're not learning the lesson. Sometimes you can't see the lesson. Sometimes you can't see it. Sometimes other people can see it and you can't. Be full of courage in asking somebody if there's something about you that you feel that you could do differently. For me, one of my hardest ones, just to give you an example, was this energy of self-righteousness. If you've been raised by a narcissistic parent, sometimes you can get really embedded with really negative energies and not realize they're there. So I never really realized about the self-righteousness thing. But I could remember when I looked back all the traits of that, but I'd never seen it before. So thinking, for example, that everybody in the world is the same as you, and when people don't treat you the same, you get really angry about it. I used to get angry about people littering, people dropping cigarettes out of cars, the bad drivers on the road, and I'd be really angry because they weren't doing the right thing, because I felt my way was the right way. So when you start to realize that that isn't the case, everybody's different, people do things differently, and then you start to change that. So I feel like here with this tower, something within you is taking flight. You're seeing things from a completely different perspective with this Hanged Man. And I feel like here, this is why you're taking time out. So with the Ace of Pentacles coming, so there's a brand new beginning on offer here. A brand new beginning. But it's sort of coming on the back of you realizing that what you've been doing up until now is creating a negative energy rather than a positive energy. And I feel like somehow or another this new beginning is there as a result of you going back to the drawing board and having a good look at what's happening and making sure you're doing things differently from here on inwards. All right, let's keep going. Look at this. You're standing in your truth. Now, you know the Ace of Swords is my favourite card. It's my favourite card in the deck because for me, it represents everything we are and are meant to be as a person. That's not the self you've created through your ego. So when you're doing that hermit energy, when you're doing that healing, there is something you're learning about yourself you've never seen before. Now, it may be something as simple as you've always believed that you maybe are not worth much, that you're not valuable, or that you're not lovable. You know, some of those things for many of us come as part of low self-esteem and low confidence. You know, you may think that you're not, you know, you don't attract a good person because you're not a good person, which is never true. So I feel like here that there is some sort of truth coming for you that's going to help you see your world in a very different way. All right, Three of Swords. You're focusing on your pain and you've got the strength card here. I love these cards, but they're not the most practical. All right. So there is something that you're changing about yourself. There is something that's bringing in a brand new beginning. You're wiping your own slate clean and you're choosing to move in a different direction. All right, look at you go. Queen of Swords. That's that sword in your hand there. We have the Emperor coming through. Oh, and the Queen of Pentacles. So there's a situation here that you are going to find out how to take your power back. You're giving your power to other people. Another example would be people pleasing. Are you always doing things because you're worried about hurting people or not doing the right thing or being good? So you think being good is always about putting other people before yourself. Is that how you feel? In which case, that is a trauma response that you've gained from your childhood somewhere. It's a very religious thing. So you may have had quite a religious upbringing where you were taught always to put other people before you. And that's not true. We've been taught that because it benefits other people. So if I want you to benefit me, if I tell you you've got to think of everybody else first, then you're going to put me as a priority. Way to go. Manipulation, beautifully done. And that's very much the devil energy. So let's have a look what's going on for you here. So I feel like you're taking time out to heal something. Now looking at the star card here, whatever it is, it's like you need to be in this new energy to inherit the world that you created, because there's a brand new beginning here. So you're letting go of this sadness and the past. You're letting go of the past here and you're taking a brand new leap here. Now I feel like for some of you, because I have this Queen of Swords facing an Emperor, for some of you it may be about speaking up in a relationship. It might be speaking up in a family situation or a romantic situation where you're saying, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I've been doing it for way too long and you've just taken advantage of me. You know, I hear people saying to me all the time, like through my life coaching and through the readings, you know, people have said this to me, and I feel, you know, people take it on board. We take it personally because of our own traumas. So if somebody says to us something that's really harsh, we can adopt that as being our own because we think somehow or another that is who we are. So there are lots of ways that you can change the way you see yourself. And I feel like here, there's definitely a feeling of you putting yourself first. Now, it's very possible here that you could be in a relationship or had a relationship where somebody hasn't put you first. And you may have then gone into, you know, well, they haven't put me first, so I mustn't be a good person. Or they chose someone else over me, so I'm not as good as the other person. And all of those things aren't true. All of those things aren't true. If somebody is in a relationship with you, but they choose to go after somebody else, there may be reasons for them, but they're not your reasons. That's them. That's what they are choosing. But they're certainly not choosing another person over you or rejecting you. They're making their own choices for their own good. And that's what you need to do. You need to understand that in this world, you've got to put yourself first. Now, I know that's hard because some people say, well, I don't know how to do that. Well, learn. You need to learn how to do that. The only time you don't do that is if you have a dependent child or a dependent person. And sometimes that's unavoidable. But it doesn't mean you still can't put yourself first. So if you're treating, you know, looking after somebody who's being really unreasonable and really nasty, you can't make provisions for that person because they have some sort of lack in their life. It's not a good thing. You need to still make decisions that keep your best interest at heart. All right, let's have a look at the fairy oracle. Oh, the Lady of the Harvest. I had this out for somebody else. So maybe if I've read for you and you've got this card, this may be a reading for you as well. All right, it's card 18. It's about reaping the harvest, basically. It is about reaping the harvest. Maybe that's what you need to be doing, Libra. Maybe this is why you're getting these messages. Maybe you're not really taking what belongs to you or what you deserve. Maybe you're constantly letting other people take from you without realizing your own value. Okay, so it says it's time to accept change, to move on to the next phase. Power and strength in the present and future come from releasing the past. This is a time of liberation and we might as well cooperate with it. It will happen whether we want it to or not. Release and liberation may be painful or joyful depending on the circumstances. Cry if you need to, be joyful if this is appropriate, but in either case, trust the process. Acknowledge what you what you feel and move on. I just rushed breakfast in between the readings. All right, I'll leave you with that. Thanks, Libra.